Happy Wednesday and a Boss Fest week, everyone. We're going to give it just a second while people get joined in. We are really excited to have you guys joining us, whether you're Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, any of them. You can type in your comments and we will get all of the comments and answer as many questions as we can throughout. So definitely keep us going through, ask the questions as we go. Oh, Andrew's jumping the gun here. So tonight we are talking about Saurozoic warriors. The way we've done this Boss Fest is every night we have a topic and we talk about some updates on product. We talk about some reveals. I think almost every night we've had pre-orders as well. I think we're going to keep that up because we're crazy. But yeah, it's been fun. So Andrew, you haven't joined us on a Boss Fest this round yet. So I haven't had to say happy anniversary because it's our 10-year anniversary this week.
Yep, it sure is.
Early on I asked Eric and Trina if, kind of when they were starting out, did they think they'd be here, in 10 years? I'm going to ask you the same question. When you guys started Boss Fight, did you think that we'd be where we are today in 10 years?
Wow. I don't know that I could have foreseen the diversity of product we're working on. I think that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most surprising thing.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting. And Saurozoic, which we're talking about tonight, we revealed last Boss Fest. That was one of the first brands that you guys talked about in that, I think it was a lunch that you guys did, right?
Yeah. Back from some of the very first meetings we were having, Saurozoic was one of the concepts that sort of we've been kicking around since 2013. And it took a while to get there, get something we were happy with, but I'm pretty happy with the way these are going so far.
I mean, I feel like that's a good segue to just jump into some of the updates that we have.
Sure.
Do you want me to share some photos or do you want to hold things up first before I go to photos?
Sure. Why don't I hold things up? Which one do you want me to hold up first?
I'm going to go with Triax because he's kind of that hero and quintessential to this line.
Yeah. So this is a set of samples that is most of the way there. They've still got a couple deco tweaks to show us, but they're most of the way there. So here's Triax. Figures the articulation works really well. They've got like a double ball joint neck. They've all got articulated jaws. Arms work great, nice and tight, sturdy joints.
Steven says they're the finest of Pantones, which I have to agree.
Yes. But yeah, these guys got plenty of articulation. Their armors, for the most part, like flex pieces, as you can see. Their gear stores really well on them. So I am pretty darn happy with how these guys are going.
Yeah. I mean, let's just keep showing them off. And then I also have photos so people can see closer looks. But you want to go with who's next on your table there?
Here we got Range Brachion.
Nice.
So he's got his sweet rocket axe thing. Which these are big, chunky figures.
They're so fun. Yeah, he's great.
We've got the knife that's removable from the sheath. So good stuff.
You got Mar there. Oh,
Oh,
you're gonna
well, I picked up the Protoceratops.
fine.
Yeah, he's holding his like smoke grenades, the spear, stores in a loop on his back.
These are looking so good.
Yeah. And then he's got the like the sort of gas mask helmet thing. So there we go.
I mean, one of the few people who's had a chance to play with the prototypes is Mitchell Wu, and he just chimed in. It's impossible to choose a favorite, so he's played with them all and can't choose one.
True. True.
Yes, Stephen, the Ceratopsian Guard is an army builder. All right, you got Mar there.
Yeah, that's Mar. He's you can see here, I'll show you kind of the height difference between these guys, the different builds. You can sort of see there's a bit of a difference there. Try to get some varying forms and whatnot, but yeah, he can. There's a couple handles on his gun. He can hold it one-handed or two-handed. He's got, let's see, the armor piece on the shoulder is kind of a friction fit that just sort of snaps on. And he is the one in Wave 1 that has a tail, just because, you know, he needs those spikes and plates definitely to fight, give him an advantage.
I love it. So I'm going to show off the photos. You know, as Andrew mentioned, these are really far along, literally about to hit into full production, which means they'll leave the factory sooner rather than later, which is exciting. These are the pack outs that we kind of receive photos of from the factory to take a look at.
So this is about what the layout inside the package is going to look like. And we just, Dave Reeves just finalized up the packaging to go around it. And it looks amazing.
It's so good. It's good, guys.
We've got new individual character illustrations from Robert Wilson, who is the very cool dude who did the little free mini comic that you can download on our store.
Yes, that mini comic free download that talks about the origin story. If you guys haven't gotten it from Boss Fight, you just go add it to your cart. It's free to get the download, which is super fun. But let's show off the other pack outs. So Mar here, he's big. And we got Range and the Ceratopsian Guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing, you know, lots of questions about what are we revealing. Do we want to go straight into Wave 2?
Oh, sure. Why draw it out? Although, before we move into Wave 2, let me just talk about the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, which I have an early sample of here, which is the Nightlands Range Brachian with the cool bone deco. So this thing is freaking awesome. And you can pre-order that right now only at bigbadtoystore.com.
It's a good plug. And that's getting produced alongside Wave 1. So it will be in stock with the rest of Wave 1 figures. All right, let me add this back in. All right, we're going to go one by one here. First up, we've got Stays Akeeton. Do you want to talk about him?
Yeah, so I was really committed to getting an Ankylosaur in here as soon as I could. He's pretty freaking cool. He's a sort of samurai inspired. So you can see some of those notes in his armor and his weapons. He's got sort of this giant club, as if his tail club wasn't enough. He can hit you with both. He's got a blaster rifle, and then he's got a little short sword that stores in his belt. He reuses the existing limbs from Mar Ossus. So he's that squatter size, but the rest of him is new.
It's pretty fun. I think this one might be my favorite. This is Seth Rawson.
Yeah. So he is a pachycephalosaur, and I thought it would be fun to sort of get a sort of a medieval knight inspired armor on this guy. But he sort of just charges into battle either with his bony plated head that's accentuated with those spikes first, or maybe that gigantic warhammer. But yeah, he's got a huge shield, which, if you'll notice, is kind of the one represented in the logo for the line. He's also got a sword and kind of this weird little like flintlocky blaster pistol. So yeah, he's pretty great.
He is. We got two more that are coming in wave 2. We have Pava Pergia.
Yeah. So their first female character in the line, and she is an Archaeopteryx. She has this sort of big, puffy feather tail thing going on, and she's got kind of a ninja-inspired look. So she's got these big tech swords that store in sheaths on her back, and this bandolier with all these shuriken. She's got a little blaster pistol that stores on her hip that you can't see at this angle. But the like all the texturing and feathering on her is freaking unbelievable. I love it.
It is pretty great. The colors here, man, they just pop. And we talked about Triax Skeever being the kind of hero through the main storyline, and all these other characters kind of support as they go around. Are you ready for me to show off the fourth one, Andrew?
Go ahead. So we have a Nightlands Triax with that sweet bone deco, and so it sort of lines up and plays and displays with the exclusive range Brachian at Big Bad Toy Store. And when I was talking with Patty Lennon about some of the story elements that we were going to include with these guys, he came up with a great little story around these guys and this sort of menacing area of the planet called the Nightlands. So I think these guys are super fun.
Well, and Joel here says he wants all of them. And the exciting thing is they are up for pre-order now. So whether you order through bossfightshop.com or Big Bad or Entertainment Earth or one of our other partners, you can definitely go get them now. So Joel, you can absolutely make sure you get all of them. We're getting a lot of very cool, awesome, people are digging these. So, I saw a bunch of questions, but I think I saw a couple different variations of this one. So I'm just going to put this one up. Is there any chance of seeing a T-Rex character in the line?
Yes. The answer is yes. There's all sorts of different dinosaurs in development, but yes, we are working on a T-Rex. I haven't quite dialed in the design where I want it yet. So he's still in the works, but he'll be coming.
Awesome. Fun 90s vibes. Yeah.
Very much so. Yep. It's sort of very much meant to be almost this sort of lost toy line from the early 90s in a lot of ways. It's very inspired by that feel and that aesthetic, the chunkiness, the size, the colors. It's very much inspired by that era.
Let's see. Will this have mounts or vehicles?
Great question. That's not a call we're ready to make yet, but if you guys are really super enthusiastic That's definitely something we can look at.
So I'm just seeing lots of comments because everyone's real excited about this line. A couple of questions about going back through. So we've got Stays Akeeton. We've got Seth Rawson. We've got Pava Pergia. And we have the Triax in the Nightlands deco. And the storyline is kind of woven through. And as you read the descriptions for these guys, you'll get a sense of, their character, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anthony wants an anthropomorphic stegosaurus riding a regular stegosaurus.
Look, foundationally, these are meant to be silly, so I wouldn't say no to that.
Yep. Steven's saying, how about dinos riding humans? Ryan's loving the Nightlands deco. Let's see, Super T. So the Range Brachion Nightlands deco is a BBTS exclusive, which is part of Wave 1. Wave 2, the Nightlands deco of Triax Skeever, is not an exclusive. But they get paired really well together. Jim's really excited to see the Archaeopteryx. It is an overlooked creature. It's pretty beautiful. Let's see. Any chance of seeing some marine reptiles?
Yes.
Andrew has lots of plans for this line. It's just such a fun line. And I know Wave 1 is, still at the factory, but it's coming very, very, very soon. We'll have some shipping updates shortly. So that's exciting. And I think once you guys start to really play with these, you're going to just lose your minds. They're so much better in person than you even think they're going to be.
They're pretty freaking fun.
I think this was my most anticipated line. And then when I got to play with the deco samples in hand, it just still blew my mind.
Yes. Agreed.
Yes. We will show off some box designs. Not quite yet, but shortly we'll show them off. They are looking really good as well. Dave Reeves, our art director, really killed that packaging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, everybody's been doing top-notch work on these. Fred and Tony did a lot of the sculpting, and it's just absolutely killer stuff. I know Barbara Heller helped them out with the sculpting. And with the design, I've had Les McLean and Chris Hicks and Indy Kelly all helping me with that. And this is a great package art and comic from Robert Wilson. So just everybody is just doing top-notch work on these.
Let's see. What are the biggest sources of inspiration for this line?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a lot of those toy lines from the early 90s. I think if you know toys and if you look at these, you can probably clock the sort of anthropomorphic chunky toys that we're thinking about. And I just wanted to recapture the feel of those and the joy of those and the weird garishness of them and bring that back in sort of a new way.
And Patrick, will there be female dinosaur characters? Yes. So Pava Pergia, that just went up for pre-order today, is the first female character in the line.
Yeah.
She's kind of badass. It's pretty great.
Yeah, she is super cool.
Henry is saying NES game when?
You know what? I'll be first in line to play it.
Let's see. Are there cavemen and hacks? Because these guys need someone to frighten.
Not yet, but maybe.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, we're really excited that you guys are so thrilled with this reveal because we've been dying to put this out there. I think we've teased bits and pieces and we've just been waiting and waiting. I think the hardest thing for us is holding some news sometimes for something like a Boss Fest week where we want to make sure we make a big splash.
Yeah.
So this was our update on Saurozoic. Wave 1 moving into production at the factory. They'll be here before you know it. Wave 2 is now up for pre-order. Definitely moving through all of this. We love the enthusiasm. We love the excitement. We're so glad you guys are really loving this line because we are too. The way Boss Fest is working, so we have 2 more days of reveals. Tomorrow, Thursday, we have not announced the brand yet, but we do have big reveals, pre-orders opening, and if it gives you any sort of hint, Andrew is going to be back tomorrow with us. So it's one of Andrew's lines. So those of you who've been kind of trying to guess what it might be. And then Friday, we're going to have all the partners here, and we are going to do a huge Boss Fest reveal. We're going to talk about updates on a whole host of brands. We're going to give looks at things in development. We're going to potentially drop a couple of pre-orders that, you weren't expecting. We talked about hacks last night. I think we also hinted that there might be additional hacks news on Friday. So, definitely tune in on Friday if you're going to choose one other one to watch. And like all of them, we answer questions as we go. So we love it. But yeah, we hope you tune in. Tomorrow is 6:30. Friday is 4 p.m. That's all Eastern time because we're just outside of Boston. So we cannot wait for you to join us again. And oh my goodness, you guys are all just loving everything. So we're so excited to spend this week with you. You guys have made Boss Fight great for 10 years. We can't think of a better way to celebrate the 10-year anniversary than to be with our fans every night for a week. So thank you guys for tuning in. We are so excited. And thank you, Andrew, for doing all of these reveals. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone. Have a good night.